Hello everyone, I'm Yuhuan Zhang, and the topic of my presentation is about the relationship between cost marketing and firm performance of listed companies in China. First, let me introduce the definition of cost marketing. It means that enterprise actively undertake social responsibility and create welfare for society. Through the implementation of public welfare practice like charitable donation, enterprise can win the favor and goodwill of customers, improve brand image and popularity so as to further achieve performance growth and sustainable development. It can unify the economic benefit and social benefit, and it can also create common benefit for enterprise, customers, public welfare organizations, and society. In recent years, many Chinese companies have stepped up their efforts in the public welfare sector and increased their investment in it. Additionally, ESG, an emerging standard for investors to quantify and evaluate the level of sustainability of the company, has gradually been a contemporary global trend. Cost marketing just belongs to the social aspect of the ESG concept, highlighting the relationship between the company and the society. Through the literature review, we found that ESG factors play the biggest role in promoting a company's financial success. And the investment in public welfare helps to obtain more trade credit financing more easily. In serious crises, the firm performance fluctuation of socially responsible companies would be relatively smaller than others who are not socially conscious. And under the interference of external unstable and detrimental factors like social unrest, ESG portfolio shows stronger resistance and sustainability. Therefore, we make two hypotheses. The first is that the implementation of cost marketing has positive impact on corporate performance, and the hypothesis two is that the positive effect of cost marketing on firm performance is stronger during the COVID-19 pandemic. My data is from Wenzhou economic database with sample period from 2016 to 2021, and the sample frequency is annually. I select Asia listed companies in China which have complete data for consecutive years, which has not been continued deficit or even delisted during this sample period, and included other singular sample. And my valuable is about annual charitable donations, return on assets, return on equity, and earning per shares. And I use total asset to measure the firm size and use the shareholding ratios of the first to the fifth shareholder of the enterprise to measure the ownership structures, and use the debt to asset ratio to measure financial leverage, and also have some valuable like marketing to book ratios, the ratio of intangible asset and the total asset, and the ratio of the expenditure of research and development and the total assets. And the theoretical concept of cost marketing is quantified as annual charitable donations. And I use three measures of firm performance, that is return on assets, return on equity, and earning per share. Therefore, I made these linear regression models like this you can see in the PowerPoint. The table 1 provides descriptive statistics of all the dependent variable, independent variable, and control variable in terms of annual data. This table systematically presents the degree of concentration and dispersion of the overall data by the form of mean and standard deviations, respectively. The total observation include 11,743 pieces of data. Table 3 presents mean regression results. 3 columns respectively report the result of the effects of the firm's annual charitable donation expenditures on the return on total assets, return on equity, earning per share of the firms. No matter which column, the coefficients are always positive and economically significant. In order to examine the impact of the outbreak of COVID-19 on this positive relationship between cost marketing strategy and firm performance, I explored the method of group regression to study the effects before and after COVID-19. I divided the 3 years before and 3 years after the outbreak of COVID-19 into 2 groups to do the group regression. After COVID-19 happens, the positive influence of cost marketing strategies on firm performance would be more significant at the 5% level. I also do the Granger test. After conducting this test, I find that the p-value for Lion charitable donation divided by Lion total asset is not a Granger reason for ROA is 0.036, which is less than 0.05. So, we can reject the non-hypothesis. That is, Lion charitable donation divided by Lion total asset is a Granger reason for ROA, and it is significant at 5% level. In the same way, I can also reject the non-hypothesis that Lion charitable donation divided by Lion total asset is not a Granger reason for EPS, which means that the proportion of firm annual charitable donation in total asset is a Granger reason for EPS and is significant at the 1% level. Finally, I also do the reverse causality and find that, in turn, our original dependent variable of ROA EPS will also have a significant positive impact on the independent variable, which is firm's annual charitable donations. All in all, based on this, I made these 3 conclusions. The first is that the implementation of cost marketing has positive impact on corporate performance. The second is that this positive promoting effect is even more evident after the outbreak of COVID-19 in 2019. And the last is that, in turn, the good firm performance would also promote the company's investment in charity marketing, which means that the relationship between them is mutually reinforcing. However, I also found that this study exists some limitations. The first is that I just used the charitable donation to measure cost marketing strategy, which means it is limited. The second is that the sample period is only 6 years, so I could not be sure whether the positive relationship between cost marketing and the corporate performance is long-term. So, hope I can further improve this in my future study, or we can improve it together in the future. That's all. Thank you for listening.